Yo, welcome to Locker Code, where football is not just fantasy, but our reality, where you can express your excitement, your tensions, or even frustrations about the games, your team, your league, and performances of players. Let's go! Yo, welcome back, y'all boys. What's good? Yeah, I know how you feel.
It's a good week, man. It's a good week. It's
a great week for me.
Yeah, I can't complain. I
don't know about y'all boys. Yo,
It's a great week.
The numbers.
Anytime you win something, boy, you don't win often, do
What are
you?
you talking about, bro?
You don't win often, do you?
Listen,
Man.
What are you talking about? All I said was a great weekend for me.
All right,
Yeah,
congrats.
but anytime you win something, it's always like the
no one's
biggest
talking
deal in
about
the
that, bro.
world.
No
Like
one's-
you make it like
Dude,
you
no
understand what I'm
one is
saying?
talking
That's when
about
you know
that.
someone doesn't win often. Yeah,
They
like
just
he
like
just
going
makes
at
it
it.
one big
No
old.
one is talking about that, bro. I just said, yo, I had a great weekend.
Sure, nobody's talking
Okay,
about
so
it.
what
Okay.
were you
Fun,
referring
dude.
to when
It
you
was
said
Say
you
you
had
had a great weekend.
I was spending time with the kids, my dude. Like we were just balling, man. It was
You know what?
crazy
We
on
hang
the
out this
court.
weekend, so yeah, it's a great
It
weekend.
was a great weekend.
Yeah, we
man.
hung out this weekend. It was a good weekend. You
I
know,
thought it was a great weekend, bro. What
can't-
are you talking about?
you can't throw an axe for shit.
I was getting that feel, bro.
Yeah, okay.
You over there? You. I know you can't throw an axe because you ain't even try.
You ain't even tried, bro.
You ain't even try, my dude.
I didn't want to try.
Nah, you can't throw an axe, bro.
I didn't want to try, but seeing y'all go at it, I was like, oh my god, look at these dudes. Man.
Once we got used to it, yo, we was going in, bro. We were going in.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I think P had like 5 what is it called again?
The bullseye?
The bullseyes.
Yeah.
Straight 5. I was like, dang.
I won.
Yeah,
one of
you
those,
won
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't get to win one there.
Oh,
I was
you
close
just-
to win one of them.
You just needed me to leave for you to throw those 5.
No, I won. I won when you were
before.
there.
Yeah, when you were there.
No,
you
but I
won.
didn't see the 5 bullseye though that you're claiming.
Yeah, that was
So
after.
that did.
That
He was scared
He
to
didn't even
throw.
say anything.
I wasn't
He
scared
was
to
scared
throw.
to
He was
throw.
scared to throw.
No, I wasn't scared to throw. I was under the influence, and I just know
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
That's
sure.
what it was, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. You can make that excuse.
You know
all
what I
want.
noticed? You haven't been betting us a lot. You haven't been that competitive drive in you. What's
been
going on?
He did. He
talking about?
did. He called me up on Sunday, right? 'Cause
And I bet.
after he bet you last
Yeah,
week.
but it's not the way he's
Well, the problem was
the
is he
man
got-
behind scared money don't make
Yeah,
money.
but the problem was he got too hyped up. See, the thing is, he bet you and he won.
Yeah.
And then he hit me back up. It was like, yo, bet you KC lose. I'm like, come on, man. I know you're in a winning streak right now with everything that's happening, but don't
But
do
you're
that
gone
to yourself.
too
You're
far.
gone too far, yo.
Yeah, that was edged out though. Just so you know, that bet was edged.
Yo.
I wasn't losing, so that's the thing.
All right, yo.
So
I'm
that's
like,
how
yo,
it is.
don't do it, yo. Don't do it to yourself. I know you win. He's like, yo, let's do it. $20. I was like, all right, bro. Lose your money. If that's what you want to do right now, go ahead.
Overall, man, it was a really good weekend, man.
Yeah,
had fun this weekend with you guys and shit. So
Yeah, it was dope. Nice location. Shout out to Chops and Hops.
Chops
Yeah.
and hops.
Yeah,
Yep.
yo. It was dope, man. Anybody that goes out there, man, you gotta just anybody hear about it, you gotta go out there, man. It's fun. Even when we started breaking down the different games that you can do with,
You could do,
with the ads,
yeah.
yo, so that was
Full
dope.
bar and everything. It's a
Yeah,
nice.
yo.
What happened to Connor, bro?
Even do a first.
that's what I was
date
gonna
out.
ask.
I know you.
Like,
once you
oh
said
my-
yo, I was like,
Connor is no longer a fighter, bro.
Yeah.
but let's. I mean, listen, Connor he was getting his jabs in, yo. There was no. I did
Connor
not.
At
see
one
that
point,
going.
I thought he
longer
looked
a
good,
fighter.
but
he
he
looked
just.
good, bro.
You know what it
He
is?
was fighting a boxer.
No, he don't have the hunger no more.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all it is.
That's
Listen,
100% correct.
you got to look at it this way, man. Connor he's not fighting as many matches that he used to fight just to get that shape and get
He's been
those.
out. He's been out for 2 years, right?
But why is he out though?
Because he didn't get no fights. He's been hungry. They ain't set him up with no fights or anything like that. Because remember the last
because
fight
it's
was
Connor
with
doing,
Mayweather.
man. It's because Connor doing.
Yeah,
He
with all
can,
that.
if Connor wants fights, he can get fights. So he's
was
been
not the fight that was-
getting knocked out too easily recently, man.
yo,
so
that fight was that was
embarrassing.
yeah.
Very embarrassing.
Because
Embarrassing.
I felt like the whole match Connor had him, and then it was just
He
that,
had him at one because right before the knockout came, you asked me who I think was going to win, and I was like, Connor looks good. I think Connor's
Yeah.
going to win.
Connor's gonna
and
win
As soon
And I
as
was
I
like-
said that, it changed
I was like, nope.
quickly.
He just hit that hook.
Then he's on the ground and he looked like he don't know what's going on.
That boy went
That
to
boy
sleep.
went night
Sleep, night.
night night.
Yeah, he pulled a Nate Robinson.
Yeah, that's
yo.
all I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Once he fell asleep, I was like, yo, Nate, get up.
Yo, Nate fell on the face. Kind of just like lay on the side. I was like, yeah, where's the
was
pillow?
gone.
Kind of was like, yo, where's the pillow, man? I just want to lay here and just
Just stick
wait
to that.
for this.
Kind of
to be
just stick
over.
to that liquor now, bro. Just don't even touch nothing else, bro. Just stick to that liquor you trying to
See,
sell.
now nobody respects him.
Yeah.
And now,
Oh, yeah, it's done.
Now
It's
is
done.
now whenever Conor is fighting, there's no money. Like,
This is what the UFC and because it's fighting and you could always lose a fight no matter who you are. The UFC they're missing like MMA UFC, they're missing their Jordan or their LeBron.
Yeah,
that
they
person
used to have those names where when you hear those names, you know,
they don't
Kimbo
have it.
Slice. Like
Kimbo-
you,
yeah.
you used to hear these
Brock
names.
Lesnar at one point.
Right, exactly. Like you used
What's
to hear
the,
these
the
names.
Brazilian dude,
I can't remember his name too. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know
he
what you're
broke his leg.
talking
at
about.
one-
Right, when he kicked one
Yeah.
time. Bro. But yeah, you used to hear these names that you know, like these guys are fighters.
Yeah.
And if you're like in the gym working out or you know you're practicing whatever, those are the guys you want to go against. And you know,
Exactly.
you know it's gonna take a while for you to go ahead, fight, and go get these guys. So now it's like, hey, I want to fight with Conor. Okay, even though you just worked out last week, you just started fighting last week. I'll give you a fight with Conor. That's how it is. It's getting watered down now. They're trying to get too many fights on their belt. It's just like,
Hey, you remember Rampage too?
yeah, dude. Rampage was, I used to like
Rampage was
Rampage.
there. I'm trying to figure out the one that you were talking about too, because I can't remember his name.
Ah, man, his name is on the tip of my damn.
But he's I know he's Brazilian, yo. I can't. Yo, I used to actually play with him in the video games, yo.
It's him, isn't it? The
What's
Spider.
that? No, it's not Spider, yo. No, it's not Spider. I can't
It was
remember his
Anderson Silva.
Anderson.
Anderson.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what it was.
Spider.
Yeah,
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 Anderson
Silva.
Silva.
name. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anderson Silver.
Yeah.
And,
Silva was-
John Jones.
John Jones was.
His brother plays for I think Chicago Bears or something like that.
So
but
he
yeah.
was, but he got drugged out.
He's actually coming back though.
Yeah, I know.
He's
I
trying to
know.
come back on the
Yeah,
fight.
when he gets short, man, like, you
Yeah.
have to find a way to pay for those
Whichever MMA UFC fighter that becomes that guy, you're gonna make a ton of money. That's all I
course.
got to say.
bills. Of course.
Yeah, because you're gonna be that
course,
guy that
man.
brings it back, yo.
Yeah.
And it's
Be the
the
face of the sport.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with boxing too. Like, you know, when you back in the day, you hear about like Mike Tyson, you know, man, Buster
Holyfield.
Douglas.
You
know,
always had a
know
good
who these-
heavyweight
right,
boxer.
Yeah, you know who these people are. Like, you know, even the lightweight and middleweight are like, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you know who these guys were, man. Like, oh, you see a boxing fight, it's like, okay, you probably know one person out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't
Know
know
what I'm
him
saying?
anymore.
Yeah, you
And
don't
then
know anybody.
It was just Floyd Mayweather,
Pretty
Manny
boy Floyd.
Pacquiao.
Yeah,
And that's pretty much
Yeah,
it
you
at
used
that
to know
point.
Pacquiao. Whenever Pacquiao is fighting, you know that's gonna be a fight. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Mayweather is fighting, you know that's well, Mayweather. I don't know.
Wilder is the other one
Pacquiao's
that-
fight was more.
Well, I mean,
Wilder's,
Wilder.
Wilder's killing me, man. He didn't do it for the peoples, you know what I mean? So I felt bad that night.
Funny enough, I
It's the
was
wrong
more.
time.
I was more up to watch like a Mike Tyson fight than any other fight recently I could think of.
The old man fight.
Yeah, the old man fight.
That's crazy though. Like it's the same thing with me, man. I was more excited to see Mike Tyson get back in the ring than
Yeah. Even though he was
and then
holding
seeing
back.
Wilder coming out and fighting again.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though he was holding back, yo. But man, you know, before we get into news, man, it's today's marks the day of what Kobe Bryant's death. At the same time, a couple other deaths that happened, especially with NBA. One of the NBA analysis,
Siku Smith.
right? Yeah. I mean, let's talk about I guess Kobe and his life and. You know, growing up, we all grew up watching Jordan, watching Kobe, and kind of like, you know, last year, where were you guys at when you kind of heard that news?
Kobe for me, man. If anyone that knows me growing up, he was like, I'm gonna say it. He's like God to me.
Yeah.
Like that's the closest I could put it. He's always been the person I look up to, the person I fantasize. I know everything about him. I'm obsessed with the dude. So when he passed, I cried. Like that was my idol. That was like I said, he's God to me. And to see him go the way he did, it's heartbreaking.
You kind of knew there was so much left that he was playing on.
He
doing.
was young. He was only 40 years old. Like you know, so
But not just at the age, but you just kind of see like the way he was moving. You know, who's planning on doing something great. Especially when we talk
He
about the
changed a lot.
WNBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, he matured a lot.
Matured a
matured
lot.
Yeah.
He matured a lot. For me, man, Kobe was. You see how we were just talking about the UFC and the boxing, like a face of the league. You when you put up a jump shot, it's two names you're calling, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Mike or Kobe. You feel me? So, like I'm a Heat fan. I've always been a Heat fan, but I respect Kobe, respect his game, respect what he stood for, and everything like that. So, Kobe, I admire Kobe just as much as you do. But to me, man, like I was watching all the programs yesterday, all the pictures, looking at all the pictures, all the tributes and all that stuff, everything that anybody had to say about Kobe and everything like that. For me, man, Kobe's not dead. Like the flesh is dead, but like, yo, the soul is still within
there.
me. You know what I mean? Still within me. So, yo, much respect to the family, all the family actually.
All the family. All the family that was involved, yeah.
All the families that were affected by that tragic event. And Kobe, dude, listen, man.
I mean, even
You and Gigi.
Yeah, Gigi too, man. I was because I think I was telling you last year when we found out my son was playing AAU game, right? And all of a sudden we just like kept started to hear bleep 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 all these text messages coming in, and everybody literally looking at their phones at the same time. Everybody talking about it, and we were like, "Yo, what's going on?" And we looked at the phone and we found out everybody stopped. Game stopped. Everybody just kind of stopped to kind of like breathe everything in, and to know because everybody else was concerned like, "Yo, was his daughter's always with him?
Always
his
with
daughter
him,
there?"
yeah.
Like so it was then you go back into like a parent mode, right? Like, yo, if my son's there and my child's there with me, what's going on? Just a process of what happened on the plane. You know what I mean? But like we said, the things that he was planning on doing, you can see that he was working in the WNBA and working with the WNBA, maybe to even get a team in the WNBA or become something big, corporate office, whatever, executive and so on like that, to kind of build the WNBA to the next level.
Yeah.
And then just watching Gigi, you know what I'm saying? We see all these WNBA players, they're great, but it was something about Gigi when she's playing and you see what she's trying to do and what Kobe was trying to instill in her. It's like, yo, Gigi's gonna be something nice when she gets into WNBA.
Terrible,
She's gonna
man.
change the
Sad,
game.
yeah.
And it was
Super
just,
sad,
it was just sad, bro. Because you
It's
saw
a lot
coming.
for that family, his wife, to go through, Vanessa. We have to find a way to find. I know Kobe's all about progression.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to him, he's all about a building block, building on to tomorrow, and he would want you to find a way to find a bright spot and to build on from this. And to the fans out there and the people out there, live your best life now. Don't ever hold anything back. Tomorrow's not promised. We all have a birth date and we all have an expiration date, and we don't know when that day is. So live your best life now. Don't hold anything back. Don't have regrets. Just live
like
every
this is your last day.
like it's your last. Like you don't know when your expiration date is.
Yeah, man.
100.
100. So we're gonna go into the NFL news. Interesting things that's coming up, this week. Obviously, we're gonna talk about, what happened last week, who won. But Stafford, first one is Stafford and the Lions agreed to basically, hey, trade me. Lions are like, hey, we agree, we'll trade you. Stafford's like, yes, thank you, I want to go. And they also just got a new coach, which is suspect at the same time. It was a coach that was the interim coach in Tampa, right? How do we look at that, man, with Stafford being gone or being traded right now? Who do you think is the best team? What do you think is going to happen with Galladay, Marvin Jones that's happening right now? Like, what's your thought process of that?
Stafford is a good quarterback. I think that organization needs to change. It's been the same for a very long time now. Stafford is a good quarterback. They have the right pieces. Galladay is probably not going to beat. You got to blow it up. It didn't work. That's the way I look at it. So you had Galladay, you had Stafford. Swift came, the rookie Swift. The injuries happened. It just didn't work. So blow it up, rebuild it, and start over. That's what I think that franchise.
So you think the whole squad is gone? Don't re-sign Galladay. I don't think he's going to re-sign.
But why would I want to resign when I don't know the situation with a quarterback?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not sure what pick they picked this year. I'm gonna double check on that, but I'm looking at it like, yeah, you're right. You're 100%. What do you think Stafford would fit in now? Because there's a lot of quarterbacks that's out there that we're like, hey, listen, this guy can go here, this guy can go there. What do you think?
All right, so let's start. Let me put my 2 cents in about Stafford, man. I don't think Stafford left because it's Detroit and they're losing or anything like that. I think
What do
Stafford,
you think? If it ain't that, what is it?
I think Stafford left because like who they hired. You know what I mean? I hate to say it.
Oh,
man.
and they fired their offensive coordinator too.
Right. So
yeah, I got
Dan
you.
Campbell, listen. Dan Campbell became the interim coach in Miami. Miami went on a little run, and that, but the dude hasn't done anything. Like,
He's
you
just
know what I
been
mean?
the
Like,
tight end
there
coach.
is. Stafford is looking at this and is like, all right, I'm coming to the tail end of my career, and I'm getting this guy that has not been proven.
Yeah.
Why should I stay here and just rut?
He's
Take
a tight
hits
end.
and
He's a
everything.
tight
like
end
that.
coach. No
Exactly.
offensive coordinating position.
Right. Like, why would I stay here? You know what I mean? And
He's
then,
talking that Detroit Piston game too. Like, we're gonna eat you up and we're gonna spit you out. We may fall down. And we're gonna get back up and take a knee out. It's like, come on, bro.
and then what's his name from what's the coach that just got fired from LA Chargers?
Oh, jeez.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So now he's
Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn is now the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
I mean, after what I saw Anthony Lynn did last year, especially to the running back class, and he was a running back, and like, you know what I mean, he knows running backs, right?
Yeah.
And what I saw him do with Justin Jackson and bringing Balaj and have Balaj playing more snaps than all these guys that he already got traded and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, what are you
was a shit
doing? It was like, so if I'm Swift, I'm kind of like, damn, I'm sorry that I'm a rookie, because now I feel like it's probably not gonna work out for me, right?
I mean, I think he's still gonna work out. To be honest with you, unless they go out there and go
How?
get another running back. Because
They're gonna go out there and get another. Well, they still have.
I have no faith in Karen Johnson, whatever
But
his name is.
listen, Kerryon Johnson is still gonna be there. Knowing Lynn, he's gonna use both. Remember, in LA, he's always been a 2 running back kind of a guy. Sometimes 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel me? So I don't see anything different happening in Detroit. So it's gonna be Swift and Kerryon Johnson, or Swift and somebody else. But it's gonna be 2 running backs that's running the show. It's never gonna be one under his regime. So that's what's gonna happen, man. So I don't blame Stafford for leaving, for sure. Like you're coming to the tail end of your career. You want to win something. You want a more competitive.
Where do you
team.
think Stafford
You don't
should
want to
go?
be on a rebuild team, huh?
Chicago Bears.
Chicago.
It's not gonna happen though, because he has to get traded.
It's either Chicago. I wanted him to go either Chicago
Or San Fran.
or San Fran. I think
It's better in It's gonna be San Fran or Colts.
Or
Colts is good too.
Colts is gonna-
Colts is really good.
Oh my
It
god.
won't be the
Colts is-
Bears because they're gonna trade him.
Right.
Unless
it's a trade.
unless there's nobody gonna pick up that trade and they're just gonna release him, then yes. But they wouldn't want to trade him into their own division, because now you got to bring back Stafford twice a year.
Right.
To play against the Lions, and most likely because the Lions are going to be doing this whole revamp, they're
Yeah.
going to lose that game.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Stafford's going to be on fire. Fire.
Yeah.
And then and honestly, the Bears need to make some type of decision like that in order for them to keep Allen Robinson.
Yep.
San Francisco's probably the only team like Stafford can come in, and no one's planning on leaving anyway. So
Yeah. I mean, the dude got an arm, and if he has some wide receivers around him, he'll be fine.
He'll produce.
He'll produce for sure. So Jason Witten announced his retirement. He's going to sign a 1-day contract with the Cowboys so he can retire as a Cowboys. He spent 16 seasons with the Cowboys. So before joining the Raiders last year. So what do y'all think about that, man? Jason Witten was a
Very reliable.
Yo, it was a ridiculous tight end, man. Especially when Tony Romo and him
Yeah.
was matching up. He was like a top 3 tight end almost every year, because
Yeah.
you know he's gonna get that red zone look and he's gonna get those touchdowns. But what I didn't understand, I know you have that itch to come back. You had a
Why did you
great
come back to Raiders?
right. You had a great gig. Why did you come back? Because you didn't do anything.
well, yeah, he had the gig with CBS.
Monday
NBC,
Night Football.
Yeah.
Monday
And
Night
he was getting
Football.
paid,
and he was
so-
getting paid.
I mean,
bro.
he wasn't great at it, but
No, it was
getting paid.
with ESPN.
Yes, man. He was
Yeah.
getting paid. So I don't know why he came back. He should have never came back. He didn't.
He
do
thought he
anything
still
with the
had it.
Raiders.
he thought he still had it, man. And
Well, he could have probably still had it. He went to the Raiders.
behind
He
Waller.
thought they had it. They didn't have it. Behind Waller. Like,
Behind Waller. Like, it's just not going to happen there, buddy.
yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, Waller got it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he definitely got it. He's definitely gonna be a pick for me next year if he's available.
He won't be available.
He won't be available. Rams
Sorry.
having a quarterback competition of Goff and John Walford.
See.
I mean, does it? Do you
Well,
care?
I don't. The thing about it is, I don't know what John Walford can do. You feel me?
I mean, he won that one game.
I know, but in this regime, in the NFL, it's a different beast. It's a different, everything is different. The game is faster. The guys are stronger. You know what I mean? So I don't know what he can do. I'm not gonna, use his college tape and college record or anything like that. Jared Goff, on the other hand, he's decent. But the thing about Jared Goff, like after 3 years ago, when he blew up, I was expecting some improvement. I was expecting the dude to start like knowing his wide receivers so well that they're like a well-oiled machine. But Jared Goff is Jared Goff. He didn't improve at all. Like
Jared Goff falls into like the pool of wide receivers that they're not gonna get you over the hump, but they're not
gonna
bad
lose
enough
it.
to bench them.
Yeah.
So that's your Kirk Cousins, your Phillip Rivers, that pool they're good enough to be starters,
Yeah.
but they're not good enough to get you into a
Where you wanna-
long
But
run.
do you think it was Goff, or do you think it was just like, hey, listen, that the West Coast finally realized what the Rams were doing?
Well, Goff can't throw the ball deep.
Right.
He's-
It's
he can't.
only
He can't.
it's
He has
it's
limitations.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
10
this,
yards.
bro.
And
That's what I think.
McVay played to
His
his to Goff's
strength.
abilities.
Yeah, his strength. Like so,
He's
think,
a really good coach, by the way, McVay.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think he
And
wants
I think
to
that's
open
where
up
he
that,
says like, yo, Wolford, hey, listen.
Right, he wants to open up that playbook. He wants to put people down the field
Because you
he
got
can
good
scheme,
receivers.
and he can scheme the running game.
Yeah.
No matter who is behind that line, they can be successful in his offense. But it's limiting what the running backs can do because Goff can't pass on the field.
Yeah.
So with that said, hey, Matthew Stafford there.
Oh, yeah, different. Matthew Stafford is better than
That's too
Kirk
much-
Cousins.
that's
He's
too
better
much
than
money out
Goff.
there.
Huh?
It's too much money out there. Trade Matthew Stafford, then you're gonna have to trade Goff somewhere else.
Yeah, but they pretty much have identical contracts.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can't
So-
double up on it because you don't have
No,
enough money.
trade him to
That's what
Detroit. Detroit
Quarterback for a
Who's the
quarterback.
wait? Who's the
Yeah.
quarterback?
Nobody.
Right, and Matthew
Gotta
Stafford
go.
want to leave. That's a want. Like I want to leave. Like
Yeah, it's already.
So
cool.
you know what I'm
there's
saying.
a-
So
there's an agreement on it.
Goff is, hey, I just want to play. I'll play for you guys. You know what I mean? So they're almost same contract. Just switch the players.
Rodgers, my boy's asking for a contract extension. I
Yeah.
looked at as hey, listen, let me go or pay me more money. I don't want to really be here.
I don't think he does not want to be
Did
there.
you see what happened in that last?
Yeah,
drive?
but he-
at 2 minutes left in the game, and he was just. They went for a field goal, not for the touchdown. When you got Aaron Rodgers as the man, and right, they even asked him the question like, "Hey, what happened?" He was like, "Listen, I didn't call the play. That was it."
That's the thing I don't like about Rodgers is arrogance.
Yeah.
Because how many times have we been watching football and you have a quarterback and a quarterback can talk to their coach and say, hey, I think we should do this. A lot of times the coach is saying, hey, come off the field, and the quarterback is like, yo, I got this. I got to play, blah, blah, blah. Tom Brady did the exact same thing in that same game where it was third, and he looked at Bruce Arians and was like, yo, I want to go for it on the fourth, right? If Aaron Rodgers wanted to go for it on the fourth, and he said, coach, I want to go for it on the fourth, they would have probably let him go for it on the
Don't think that though. I
think they
truly
would.
don't believe that.
I think they
because
would.
remember that was the issue that they had in the beginning of the season and last year, that it's his way or no way, and Rodgers did not like that.
And if
Rodgers
they
is like,
don't-
yo, you only been here
if
for a
they
year.
if they don't, I think it's more deeper than that. Rodgers probably wasn't playing the game that he was calling.
Probably.
You see what I'm saying? But I think like having a quarterback like Rodgers, and he's telling you, yo, I got this. I can make this happen. That it wouldn't be an issue if he tells a coach, if you know what I mean, hey, I got this. So you're asking for more money. If there's a relationship, rift between you and the coach, why would general manager sign you?
I think the executive. He also has a rift with the executives in Green Bay. I think he has a Rodgers. I think he has an issue with not just the coach, but everybody in the organization.
Because of who? The common denominator is who? It's him. Like,
Well, I don't think. Well, I think it's mainly because of the fact that you drafted a quarterback when you needed to draft receivers. You drafted a running back when you needed to draft receivers. And he proved that. Like they didn't need Love this year. They didn't need the other running back this year.
Rodgers had one of the best years.
He came out.
Yeah, he came out. He's the reason why they got as far as they did. I think he has leverage to get whatever he wants.
But I don't think he's gonna get it. I think they truly would say, "Hey, listen,
they'll let him go.
yeah, walk."
Well, they won't be back where they were.
Oh,
before.
no,
Yeah, it's
won't.
fine. No,
They
they already know that. They already know they're not
It's
gonna
a
get 13
cap-
wins.
It's a cap movement, man. I'm gonna let Aaron
Yeah.
Jones go, and I'm gonna let
Rodgers go.
And I got all the money in the world to build everything.
AJ Dillon is a replacement for Aaron Jones. They thought ahead.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? They were hoping that Love would be ready. Like, you know what I mean? And if Rodgers want to walk, they let him walk. So they're thinking ahead. And that's a good organization. Not wait until the damn thing died. Then you're deciding to start drafting players and then lose leverage.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what they did. So, listen, I have an issue with them drafting a quarterback, yes. As far as drafting a running back, I think they made the right move. Right now, running back value, as you always put out, is not even there. So if you could draft, if you had the opportunity to draft like a stud running back like AJ Dillon, big, looking like a freaking monster, bro, and he can like do that power run, plus he can catch the ball out of the backfield, why not draft?
No, I 100% agree with you. But with that, you're looking at having the top quarterback in history. That literally brought you near the championship with 2 minutes left to go.
Hey man,
And
I have to
you're
trust.
assuming that, hey, listen, the next step is like, we're gonna obviously talk about this, but you're looking at, hey, listen, what do we need to tweak now for next season? Because we're just 2 minutes away.
You know what's funny about that argument? It's the same argument where everybody was having when Brett Favre. They told Brett Favre like, "Yo, we're gonna go with Aaron Rodgers."
With Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
It's the same exact argument we had.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers. So that's the problem.
The thing. Because what
We
you
don't
gotta
know.
understand.
Nobody knew what Aaron Rodgers was.
Well, the thing is that you knew because you kind of groomed Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers didn't touch that field for 3-4 years, bro.
They still didn't know.
He didn't touch that field for 3-4
No,
years.
no. But what I'm saying,
Aaron leaves, then you
no.
only
The
got love
coaches,
for
the
a
coaches,
year.
and everybody knew what Aaron Rodgers was. But I'm saying the fans didn't know.
No.
The fans, the beat writers, none of these guys knew what they had, because there was a major uproar when they were letting go of Brett Favre, right?
Well, we're still surprised.
It's the same conversation everybody was having when Brett Favre. It was the last time in Green Bay, and then Aaron Rodgers came out and was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree with you.
Oh, so hey, give him a chance, man. Maybe we.
And he won one for the organization, right?
Yeah. He did.
But Brett Favre's team.
Still Brett Favre's team.
He won.
He won one though. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, he was supposed to be the number one pick, and the 49ers ended up picking up Alex Smith. Alex still ain't won the championship yet, and Rodgers did.
He wasn't supposed to be the number one. Do you know what
We
what
got
number
this.
pick he
We
had?
got this one who's just.
You know
they
what
don't
pick-
even know who their quarterback's going to be next year.
You know what pick he had, bro?
You happy?
And they just drafted a quarterback last year,
Listen to this, dude.
number 3. So you
Glad
could be
you
in,
came
you
on
could
that,
be in
man.
those type of problems.
I'm glad you came in on that because now we can talk about the first quarter. Let's talk about what happened last week in the AFC Conference Championship. You go and handle this Bucks 31 and Packers 26 game, bro. How do you feel about that, man?
Defense showed up. Brady showed up. What can I say? That's what goats
That's
do.
what goats do. But
That's what goats
what did
do.
you?
So wait. So, what was the advantage? What was the advantage the Bucks had over the Packers? Would you say?
I think better defense. The defense was better. Because Brady made a lot of mistakes in that game.
I think the defense was better that one series.
Three interceptions.
Yeah, he had 3 interceptions. So you can't say it was Brady that, he played decent even with the 3 interceptions, but it was the defense. They stopped Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers when they needed to.
That one series.
Yeah.
One
Not
series
necessarily
that
one series, but they
were
forced
multiple.
Green Bay to kick field goals versus scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there were multiple series, but I think it was just that one that was so important that you had to kick that field goal that because they were going back and forth, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. It was that field goal that messed it all up because now you're behind. There is no touchdown.
All right. I don't know if it's a play calling or what, but there was a series. I think it was the first series of Green Bay series, right? They got to the red zone. They're on the 5. I think it was like between the 3 and the 5 yard line, somewhere around there. That close. First and goal. And they didn't run the ball, not even once.
Yeah, not
Not even once. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? You have like a stud running back.
Yeah, but they're thinking it's the best rush defense, and yada yada yada. That's what's going through play calling.
I know, I know, but sometimes you're tricking yourself.
You're tricking yourself.
You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of those moments where you came away with 3. So you were first and goal. I would attempt a run. And I'm not talking about run up the gut because definitely you know Jason Pierre-Paul, like all of them, Sue, all of them guys are in there. So I know I'm not talking about running up the gut, but
Vita.
you have two running backs that has hands. You know what I mean? Like you have running backs that has hands. Like yo, put Adams out, pretend like you're gonna pass, and have like Aaron Jones or Williams go on the flank and just like pass it to him.
I agree with you.
All
That was
three-
that series that
all
he
three
threw the
ball,
went
like,
to Adams, and I'm sitting there
all
like,
3
bro,
ball went to Adams. And
why
I'm
is
like,
it going to Adams right
it's
now?
so obvious, man.
Yeah.
It was so obvious. I'm like, yo,
It was bad.
It was just they were moving
forcing
around.
it.
They're moving. Yeah, they were just forcing it. Like they move Adams around like multiple places and force the ball. And Adams, I was like, yo, as much as I because in my DFS lineup I had Adams. As much as I want Adams to score a touchdown there, I was like, yo,
It's
was
too obvious.
It was just too obvious. It was just
3
way
passes
too
in the red zone.
in the red zone, and
Going
all
to
of them,
Adams.
all of them went to Adams. There was one there's one occasion where, no lie, Lazar was like
Mad open, cut slant.
cut slant, and he was just like,
Yep. He hit
Yeah.
a
and 3-yard
juke. To
Rodgers
the left
looked
and
way over him, and just you know what I mean,
and do it on double coverage to
Right.
to Adams.
to Adams in the back of the end zone. I'm like, yo, come on, dude.
It was
come
crazy.
on. So
I don't
there's
agree.
a lot of mistakes that the Packers, not only the defense, but the Packers just.
What do you think they needed to change? What do you think now? Now Bucks are in the in the Super Bowl right now. Packers. What do they need to do next year? With everything that we talked about just in news.
Personally, man, what
do you
the
think they're
Packers,
coming back?
I know this is in the minority, but the Aaron Rodgers need to exercise trust.
With who?
His wide receivers.
We just talked about that 2 weeks ago that these wide receivers don't know how to catch.
Yeah,
How
I
can I
agree,
trust you?
but he needs to exercise trust. All right, this is why I say that. Look at the Kansas City game, right?
Yeah.
Nico Hardman. Hardman did what? And what the first when he came on, when he fumbled that ball or
fumbled that
whatever,
ball.
and he came off and he sat on the bench and he threw the coat over his head and all that stuff, feeling like crap and whatever. The first guy to walk over to, like I'm watching the game, and the first guy to walk over to him was the quarterback. Yep. Pat Mahomes walked up to him and like, shake it off, man. I got you. Right? And he rewarded the dude.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's what a
Came
good
back
leader
strong.
does. A leader don't, like, you make a mistake, they shut you out. That's not a good leader. And that's what Aaron Rodgers does.
Yeah, he does. I agree with you 100%. But that's a big
He has the
difference,
talent,
too.
but he's not a great
It's
leader.
the guy that's older, man. It's a guy that's like, hey, I've been in the league so long. Pat Mahomes hasn't been in the league so long. Pat's having fun. Right?
Dude,
With the 2 years.
it's
that he's
so
been here,
easy
3
for him.
years,
The
he's
game
having
looks so
fun.
easy. The game looks so easy for him.
Right
so
now,
easy, bro.
He's on, Rodgers is on like, yo, I'm down.
I'm a senior. Yeah.
I think the Packers disconnect goes towards what Ren said, but also with the quarterback and the system and the owners and the coaches and everything. They're not all on one page.
No.
Yeah.
That's also
That's what I'm
a
saying.
problem.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem.
The team is good. The team is good enough to get to the Super Bowl and even win it. But when you're not all on one page, you're going to fall up. You're going to fall this short.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what
And that's
happened
what
this weekend. They fell this short. Because really and truly, they were the favorites going in over the Bucks.
Easy.
So
We got Bills 24, Chiefs 38 in the NFC Conference Championship, man. AFC Conference Championship, excuse me. What do you think about that game, man? I mean, they shut down Diggs. They shut
But that was
down Brown.
so, and I think I stated this on the last show. Bills getting here was a success for Diggs, for Josh Allen,
For the Bills.
for the Bills. They had an
Bills Nation.
amazing season.
Yeah.
Right.
We all knew that it was going to come to an end.
Yeah.
And the Bills are
Well, no, not all of us. The guy to the left of you thought something else, but yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the Bills to me are a poor man's Chiefs. That's
Yeah.
how I look at them.
Yeah.
They're a good offensive team. They have a lot of weapons. They have playmakers, but their defense is not really that good. They'll put up enough points to beat you, but they played against their bigger brother,
Yeah.
and that's how I look at that game.
He was really big though.
I don't think it's. Listen, I don't think it's as lopsided as the score suggested. The reason why
Numbers don't lie, bro.
What do you think? Numbers lie.
When?
There's garbage time when people stop playing. Yo, look, if you really watched the first and second quarter of that game, you really saw the Bills play them hard. Like they played them hard. And they need a running game on the Bills, bro. They need a running game on the Bills. Singletary dropping balls, can't even push through a line, getting the 1 yard to get a first down. There was a lot of things. It has nothing to do with
Yeah, but that's noticed against the Chiefs. Against every other opponent, they didn't need all that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? What they had was good enough. That offense was potent enough.
To
But
me,
it
the
wasn't
Chiefs
really-
played them- the Chiefs
Bills
played them
couldn't
different, bro. The Chiefs played them different. That defense, that secondary played the Bills different. There was no one-on-one coverage. They played zone. They had Diggs on lockdown. They took away his main player.
And that's where I'm saying that it's coaching there. I
Yeah,
think
that was coaching.
It's coaching. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's lopsided as far as talent goes. Josh Allen can pass the ball. Diggs can catch the ball.
Yep.
Beasley can catch the ball. John Brown can catch the ball. The running back sucks. The offensive line is decent. The Bills' defense is decent. Coaching is what the problem was because you can't adjust. Yo, they literally took Diggs out of the game, right? Completely out of the game, and yet you couldn't you couldn't come back. In the first quarter, you guys, the defense is playing hard. The defense is playing. They were up 10-0 and all that, and I'm like, yo, all right, the defense looked good, and then the defense just keep coming back on the field. Keep coming back on the field because you're forcing the ball to Diggs. Diggs is double teamed constantly, and you keep forcing the ball to Diggs. Beasley is running all over the place. I don't even remember them calling John Brown name. Jesus Christ.
No, John was not even in it.
That's what I'm saying.
I
I'm
had
like-
John on my
and-
DFS, and he had 4 points.
And John was open.
Yeah, and John was open.
I don't understand. Yo,
Beasley had a better game when Beasley
they
was playing with
don't
a broken leg.
They don't adjust. A lot of these coaches can't adjust.
Yeah.
I remember the best game for me that I saw good coaching versus good coaching was when New England played Kansas City.
Yep.
That game was so good, and the adjustment everybody's making. Granted, Kansas City won, but remember in the first half of that game there was no points, bro. Hardly the Bills couldn't score crap. It was all 3 and outs.
The adjustments. Then halftime kicked in,
And then halftime, people make adjustments, but
Andy
people
was
make,
like, "Nah, this not gonna happen."
yeah, they made wrong adjustments, but at the same time, at least you can see where the Chiefs come out and make adjustments. This is one thing I like about Andy Reid, that the man can make adjustments, man. The dude, and I think that's where the game was lost in the second half. When they came back out, they made the proper adjustment, and then Kelsey and Hill just start running all over them. They just start getting wide open, and it was just crazy to me.
Anything that you feel like the Bills, other than running back, needs to do next year? Do you feel the Bills are going to be in that same position next year?
They need their corners are good. White's good, but they need more better corners on the opposite. Because what I noticed, the Kansas City was avoiding what's his name? White.
Diggs?
No. The Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City was avoiding throwing to the side. Where that corner.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So, and that's when
they avoided the left side because he was on the left side.
On the left side, so
when the passes came through the left, and it was just speed because it was Cheetah, it was
right,
Kelsey.
exactly. By the time you should catch up to them, it's over. So and that's the adjustment they made in the second half. The game was lost in the second half. It wasn't lost in the first half.
Yeah.
An adjustment that I think they need to make, they need to like Ren said, upgrade the defense a little bit, but also work on the offense. When you look at quarterback and receiver combos, they're in the top three. So um, you have Pat Mahomes and Tyreek, you have Aaron Rodgers and Devontae. These are unstoppable combinations. You have Josh Allen and Diggs. Still, I think still they're in the top three, but they're the third of the two that I just mentioned. Um, Aaron Rodgers had the run game in Jones to dilute, what he's that his combination with Devontae, and then Pat Mahomes also has Kelsey, so he has he has the best tight end and easily a top five receiver.
Easily.
So that to your question, they're too one dimensional. The Bills.
Right.
And I think they're going to either need to add a running back or add another receiver.
I like Gabriel. I think Gabriel hasn't got the opportunity, but I think that's going to change next year because I don't see them re-signing John Brown.
But here is the thing, though. John Brown was good before Diggs got there.
Yes.
So I still think they could play off of each other. But to Ren's point, it's coaching.
It's coaching.
It's coaching, and you got to start passing to the man.
And I don't think
because he's good. He's a good receiver.
And the other thing is John Brown can't stay healthy though.
Yeah.
Can't stay healthy.
Yeah, but like I said, I think it's coaching. You start passing him the ball. Take that pressure off of Diggs and put it on John for a little bit, and then come back to Diggs. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing.
That's what KC does.
So it's a 3-level. They have a 3-level wide receiver system, right? John Brown is the fast speed wide receiver down the field.
Yeah.
Diggs is that intermediate, and then Beasley's that slot.
Yep.
And I don't know, they just don't utilize him.
They don't utilize him.
Like last year, before Diggs got there, John Brown was getting peppered down the field.
Yeah.
And he was taking them.
I don't see John Brown getting those balls anymore, dude. Like, and I'm just like, yo, what happened? The dude didn't forget how to catch. The dude didn't forget how to run. Like, why is he not in the offense game plan? Like,
because you got a wide receiver like Diggs.
Or Josh Allen maybe just have tunnel vision, forcing the balls to Diggs. Like, I'm watching some highlights right now. Diggs is covered double team and they're still pushing the ball over it.
Yeah, they were.
Well,
because
for fantasy owners,
it's a good
Diggs
thing.
is a sure thing.
Yeah,
for next
Diggs
year.
is a good thing for next year.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
I totally agree with you.
Definitely agree with that. Yo, so let's go to the second quarter, man, and we're gonna go backwards, right? We're gonna start off with the wild card games, Browns and Steelers in AFC, Ravens and Titans, Colts and Buffalo. Before we get started, I guess just breaking news: Ravens assistant David Culley just got the head coaching job for the Texans. I don't see Watson staying. Because if you can't coach Jackson, how are you gonna coach Watson?
Yo, why? I can't even speak right now. It's. I don't blame Watson to want to leave because it's crazy to me.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me. Like, all right, give me a proven coach that. Give me what's the name of the coach, the offensive coordinator on the
Kansas
Chiefs?
Eric Bieniemy.
Like, Jesus Christ! Like, why does I know the dude has some issues way back in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there were reports out there, and then I started to read a lot of reports, and then people were saying that was incorrect information, but they were saying that he just didn't interview well. And they were saying that,
what? He can coach. Like, yo.
And a lot of people was coming out and saying, yo, that's incorrect information. No, that's not the case.
No disrespect. But Dan Campbell, what has he done? What he's like, I know, like, if you ask any NFL, anybody that watch NFL, fans, coaches, anything, it was like, yo.
Listen, Dan Campbell is a tight end coach, and he has not made his tight end.
Would you want somebody from the number one offensive team to coach your team? Like,
no,
I don't understand these owners. Like, yo.
Because I see what the recipe that he needs.
Listen, man.
He needs top receivers. He needs tight ends. He doesn't need a top running back. He's okay with it. And I just don't know.
All of these coaches are going to get fired in 2 years anyways. Yeah. They all trash.
It sucks.
I'm sorry.
But I hope he gets
I'm glad none of them are on my team.
And a great team.
I would have been killing my team right now.
But yeah, man, let's get to the second quarter.
Team got
that was
bigger
breaking
problems.
news. You got the AFC wildcard games, right? I'm not even gonna front that way.
Yeah, they do.
Browns, Steelers, Ravens, Titans, Colts, Buffalo. We kind of went into the Buffalo situation, but what do Browns beat the Steelers. My issue is Steelers could have had the opportunity to knock out Browns in week 17, and they didn't. What do you think they need to do now?
In this offseason going up.
Offseason going out.
All right. So for me, like the Steelers per se, the Steelers need a tight end, and the Steelers need a running back that is sustainable. Like, you know what I mean? Connor is just not it. Connor is too injury prone for me. So you need a running back that can stay, because that's Big Ben's game. He liked that play action too, but Connor doesn't offer that, that scariness that that a defense will like have to measure. When Le'Veon Bell was there, you're gonna look. Shockingly, both Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown is in the Super Bowl.
Not even just that, but the other one, McCoy.
Oh yeah, McCoy's on.
McCoy's
He was on Kansas City last year. Now he's on Tampa.
Now he's on Tampa. That is funny as hell. So he went to 2 Super Bowls.
The question is, he wasn't activated for the for last year's game. So the funny thing is, if
he won't be like activated for this year game either.
Yeah, that would be funny. That would be messed up.
But he still get the ring though.
Oh yeah, but I don't get to play. I mean, I get to watch.
If I was him, I was a part of like four Super Bowl, and I got to race the show.
So what do you think, man? What do you? I mean, you were talking about the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers. Like, so they need to improve their running game. But the thing that's concerning about me, like, what's his name is getting up in age, man. Ben is getting up there in age. What are they going to do at quarterback? Because I don't see them drafting any prospects.
Well, listen. Last week they kind of got their prospect.
Who?
They end up signing Haskins. Now,
yeah, they did.
They end up signing Haskins. Like, we can look at it as like, Haskins a headache, but hey, he was a top performer in Ohio State. He looked good. I
feel like Tomlin would go ahead and just like drape Haskins up and say, "Son, you better sit your
drape."
Like this, right in the chest, just grab him like this and just like, you better chill the hell out. I'm not them boys you met in Washington.
But and I think that's where it becomes like, that's a great pick. They essentially got a number one pick.
The way how Tomlin is and the way how Tomlin coaches, I think the discipline factor that Haskins is lacking will come to fruition. He will. You know what I mean? Tomlin will go ahead and curve that ball for sure. But I think the Steelers need a running back for sure, and they need a tight end that they can depend on. Like, they haven't had a good tight end in a while, man.
What do you think about the Browns?
Browns, I think they need to go ahead and find some way to get rid of OBJ, because OBJ is going to mess up that chemistry. I'm not talking about OBJ talent. OBJ is really talented, but I think the chemistry that they currently have, now they have Higgins. I'm just telling you, I think they should just run with Higgins, run with Landry, run with Hooper, run with Chubb, and just do their thing, man, and just make it a one cohesive unit. I don't think they need to change much. They may need some improvement on the line. The defense was a beast this year, so that's what I think the Browns really need.
Yeah, I mean, just about he brought up Chubbs. How do you feel about just the running backs with Chubbs and Hunt? Like,
I think it's a good situation. I think the Browns, I differ a little bit from Brent. I think the Browns need to upgrade from quarterback. I think they have all the right pieces. Their defense is really good. Their run game is really good. I would keep Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I would actually even keep OBJ. They have an identity now. The identity was to run the football. That's what they found success in. But that identity only came because of the Baker Mayfield situation. Baker Mayfield is not the quarterback for that team.
Yeah.
Stafford would do better in that situation. Yeah. They need a better quarterback, and I think if they get a better quarterback, they could be the dark horse to I think could upset any. If you call the Chiefs the best team in football, I think they have the talent to beat the Chiefs. They're the most talented. Outside of the Chiefs, they're the most talented by names, by players. What their players could do, they may even be more talented. They're arguably the most talented football team.
Yeah.
But one of the head of the snakes the quarterback is the problem. With the Steelers,
What about OBJ?
I don't think OBJ is a problem.
You don't think? Because how I look at it, man, is just too many A-plus players there.
No, if you
So
had
you
a
think
good,
if Stafford was
if
there,
you
that
if
he'll
you had a
be able to
good
handle?
quarterback like a Stafford, I think it would be a major difference in that team. And then you have a full force attack. You could attack aerial or you could attack on the run game. Baker is not the guy.
What about
He's not the
Steelers,
guy.
man?
Steelers, personally, Steelers choked. Steelers choked.
They did.
They should have won the
did.
week before.
Yeah.
Dolphins
They
would have been in the
literally
game.
choked. They
Dolphins
choked.
would've been
They underestimated their opponent, and
Yeah.
Choke.
and because of that, they probably didn't put in as much as they
work.
want to in
Yeah.
practice. They maybe, you know what I mean. So I think they
messed
really
up-
choked.
They messed up the whole playoff.
You said it right.
Dolphins
PJ.
would have been in
Yeah.
there. Dolphins would have been in the Super Bowl right now. Playing.
So listen, the Steelers choked. The Steelers, think about it. More than halfway, 60% through the season, the Steelers look like the team to beat. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They look
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
They were
the
done
defense
defeated at
was
one point.
good. The defense
Fire.
was fire. The
the
offense
defense
was good.
is what put Del Pozo in the
Exactly.
because that's what was
He
winning
rolled
for
them,
They
yeah.
rolled with them.
So the Steelers just choked. It's not even. It's nothing to do with the coaching. I don't know what it is, but
They underestimated their opponent.
but also prior leading up to that, they were underperforming.
Yep.
And I can't pinpoint what's the causation of it. But I just feel like altogether they choke. Because at one point I was saying that, hey, I think the Steelers could beat KC.
Was it beneficial to bench your players the week before? Because it
Not
didn't
beneficial,
help.
no.
Didn't help anything.
Didn't help any.
You know
Or-
what? You know
or
what,
what
that
it
did?
could have been?
You know what it did? That benching your players that week before, going into that final week 17 game, it actually gave your players false confidence.
Yeah.
And that's what it did. It gave those players false confidence. Like, yo, we could have beat them when we weren't even playing, bro.
Exactly.
I ain't even worried about these guys. And that's why the Juju of the world coming out,
But
Corvette. and
They also thought they were going to have an easy game, too. It's
yeah,
like,
they thought it was going to be
We're going to
easy.
play them again.
That's what I'm
anyways, they're gonna
saying.
win.
Like, so that's.
But week like 11, 12 through 16, they were really struggling, even in the games that they won. So it begs the point: did they peak ahead of time?
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
They still should have won.
But-
They should have never been.
And funny enough, I think they have like a really good wide receiver.
They do.
They really have a great wide receiver core. So,
Juju,
so
Claypool, James
so let me
Washington.
ask you. Like, all right, so
Deontay Johnson.
let's talk fantasy right here. So let's talk the three prominent wide receivers on the Steelers. What round do you think they're going in? Let's start with Deontay Johnson. Where do you see Deontay Johnson?
I think he's the number one receiver on the team. I would
he's gonna go
say
third.
Yeah, but where do you see him getting drafted though?
late third, fourth.
Third, fourth.
Okay. What about
Juju's going to be in the same
Juju.
range. Third, fourth, depend if he's still a
do you,
Steelers.
yeah, you think he's signing back with the Steelers?
I don't think.
I'm not sure.
I don't think he. I think he wants to. I don't think Steelers will.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't think Steelers will either.
Yeah, I think Steelers look at him as
Because
very
they have
immature.
a plethora of receivers.
Yeah, I think
Young
they look at him
receivers,
like
you don't
he's
have to pay
very
money.
he's very immature, and they don't have to pay him any money. And
Exactly.
And
he's not
Claypool is a beast. Claypool
Yeah.
has a bigger body and everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
That's their future.
and yeah, I think Claypool is their future. I think Claypool is going to be a beast this year. Where would you draft Claypool?
Claypool's gonna. I think Claypool's
Fourth
gonna
or
be.
fifth.
I think that's what I'm saying. Fourth, fifth, or even pushing it sixth. I think Claypool's.
No,
gonna
I don't
be,
think I.
He's not getting the 6 in our.
I-
any
not
other
in
leagues,
our
I'll
league,
tell you
yeah,
that.
I'll tell you right now, he's not getting to the sixth.
If
I
Juju-
doubt if he's getting to the fifth.
Well, here's the thing, because a lot of people are gonna look at it. This way.
Especially if Juju leave.
If Juju doesn't leave, a lot of people are gonna look at it as that.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the fifth.
He's gonna be in the fifth.
But
So
if
he's gonna be
Juju
still-
leaves,
if Juju
he's-
leaves,
boys
he's
like
coming
yeah.
up.
he's fourth,
Yeah, fourth.
early late
Yeah,
third. Like
yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
So, next
Listen,
game.
we got the next game, Ravens and Titans, and then we kind of go through this. But Ravens, we talked deep in true detail with the Ravens situation. It's not defense. It's not the running game. It's sort of the receiver, but it's really
The
QB.
QB. The QB needs to start passing the ball. He needs to start practicing how to pass the ball. They need to get like a nice wide receiver coach, like a Adam Gase or something like
Especially
that.
now
to,
since they lost their offensive coordinator to be the coach. For the
I'm just kidding. But he needs to get like a good wide receiver coach, not a coach that that the player coach the coach
So
in Peyton Manning and Adam Gates.
we were talking about it. A way, there's only two ways a team gets better. Um, by one, adding pieces, or by two, the players themselves individually get better and the team gets better.
Isn't it funny why they and yet general managers just keep firing coaches after 2 years?
Yeah, it's not. A lot of times, it's not the coach's
It's
fault.
not even a coach's fault.
So with the Ravens, the players need to get better, and that player is Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah,
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is too one dimensional. He, like Rent's point, he needs to develop on his throwing, work on his throwing. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and improvement in the throwing game. I don't think that his wide receiver core is that bad. I watched. He was my quarterback in fantasy. I watched a lot of those games, and there's a lot of touchdowns that would have happened if it was a more accurate quarterback throwing the ball
I agree.
as opposed to Lamar Jackson.
Lamar
And that's
Jackson.
just truthfully speaking.
Yeah.
Their defense was good all throughout. They're a good team.
They are a good team.
A lot of
they need one
times-
more wide receiver though.
They need one more wide receiver, perhaps. But a lot of games when they take the lead, you don't
can't
catch
get back.
them. You don't get them back. The way you beat them is that you take the lead first.
Yeah.
And they're not a team because the fact that he can't throw the football, or he's not accurate with throwing the football, because it's not like he can. He could throw the deep pass, but it's the accuracy and the timing and the type of deep pass that he's throwing that, if he works on that, then they could be a comeback team,
Yeah.
and come back. That's the difference with Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes can move, but you could be down. KC could be down 21-0, and they'll score 3 touchdowns
Call it a
in
day.
one quarter.
Yo,
With
so
the
just to
3
add to that,
interceptions.
man, one bad coaching, I'm gonna call it, and I'm gonna be selfish with this comment, and it's because I play fantasy football. So the carousel of the running backs that they had on the Ravens, 3 running backs going in rotation, that was trash. That was all garbage. It didn't give Lamar Jackson any rhythm. And if you notice on the tail end of the season, when they actually took what's his name out, Ingram out, you notice that they actually started playing better because it was, you know what I mean? It was what's his name? Rookie?
Dobbins.
Dobbins starting to
JK.
get the ball, so he know the timing with Dobbins and or Gus Edwards. It was just 2. When it was just 2, they actually start improving. When it was 3 going in and out, it was like, yeah, I understand
What's
you're
going
trying
on?
to get like fresh legs, but I don't know if these coaches forget that,
2 is enough, bro.
I don't know. I think their thought process is, hey, if I can get fresh dude to hit you on the defense, then I'm out overthinking you and I'm gonna be successful. No, running backs. I've been watching football for years, and granted, they've probably been watching more than I am, but I've been watching footballs for years. And look at all these teams that actually made it to the playoff, successful in the playoff. It's 1 or 2 running backs, not 5 running backs just running all over the place. Because running backs run off rhythm.
Yep.
They have to get into that. You know what I mean? See where the holes are at. I was like, they ran. All right, this dude stopped me. Okay, I see that he's moving to the left. Give me the ball again. I got him next time. I'm gonna juke him to the left and I'm gonna go to the right. And because that's what they do. But when you go ahead and it's like, oh, I see what he's doing, and then you go ahead and take him out, it's like, what the hell, man? Like,
Yeah, you
the
kinda
motivation of that running back is actually down, and you know what I mean. So it's not working to your benefit. Like, so I don't know, man. I just think that coaching on that side was bad. On the Titan side, that the Titan loss. Titan needs to just improve their defense, man.
Yeah, that's the only thing I got on Titans.
Yeah, the
Just
Titans need to
improving their defense.
improve their defense. Well,
Spent way too much
your
money
boy
on,
is in free agency this year too.
Who?
Corey Davis.
Yeah,
Corey Davis is free agent, so
he's staying with the Titans.
I don't know, man. The dude did perform decent this year. He's gonna look for some money this year.
He ain't gonna get a lot of money.
He's not gonna get a lot of money,
He's
but
gonna stay
maybe
there.
he go somewhere else and be a number 1 receiver.
What are you talking about? He's not a number 1
Yeah, he's
receiver.
not a number 2. He's a number 2. He's
What
a
are you
robber.
talking about, yo? He's
Yeah,
not-
I agree. I
if you're
agree
looking
with-
for a number 2, a 3, Corey's the guy.
I think that the Titans do need to improve their defense. Tannehill looked good this year. Derrick Henry's a beast, as we all know, and AJ Brown looked well. So they won a lot of games because of their offense. they had to put up a lot of points. So I think it's the defense.
Yeah.
Build that defense and keep
And
it
they'll be
rocking,
fine.
and they'll be rocking because they went far last year.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Colts next, Colts and Buffalo. I know we kind of went in depth and with the Buffalo situation, with Colts losing.
Yeah. So let's focus on the Colts, man. Like, what do you
Colts
think?
losing
Quarterback.
their quarterback situation now. So, what do you think?
Matt Stafford. man.
Matt Stafford, yeah. Pittman
Matt-
is there. Ty is there.
Matt Stafford.
Running back
if
game
Ma-
is there.
Jonathan,
Run-
and,
Jonathan
and you
Taylor.
had the best one of the offensive lines in football.
Yeah. So if Matt Stafford should go there, I think that team will be successful for sure. It's either all right. So it's going to be either Matt Stafford or Wentz, right? Because it's Wentz' old offensive coordinator.
I don't think it's gonna be Wentz.
Could be Wentz because it's the old offensive coordinator.
I think the owner loves Wentz. That's the problem.
Yeah, but the coach, I don't think it's.
Yeah.
They saw what's his name can do, so they're thinking about like, hey, trading Wentz.
So you're predicting Colts will be back in the playoffs as long as they get.
Oh
that
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah. And if Colts are smart, like if they're smart, one of those two guys will take them right back to the playoff for sure, 100%. I'm not even doubting it. Matter of fact, in fantasy, because that's what we do, like the wide receiver will be elevated. If it's Stafford, for sure, like Pittman, all these guys, T.Y. Hilton has value again.
Yeah.
You see me? You see what I'm saying? Because Matt Stafford is gonna pass that ball down the field. Which is what T.Y. Hilton. You'll be like, yo, this is the old T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah.
Like his career will be revamped. It's like a Randy Moss type crap. You know what I mean? So I think like a Matthew Stafford would look good on the Colts. I mean, their jersey color is pretty much the same, so it wouldn't.
Great.
Affect them.
Light blue, gray, white, and blue.
White, white and blue. They're pretty close.
Yeah, so let's run through the third quarter here. P, you got Chicago and the Saints, man. We know the Saints, and we both squad really actually has issues on the quarterback sides.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Saints don't have really an issue. Start
Jameis
Winston. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Start Jameis Winston. You have
Everybody. You got everybody.
you got everybody. He could. I'm not saying he's a breeze, but he's better than a lot
of these guys. For
these
real,
quarterbacks that we've talked about.
So you think they re-sign them and hey, listen, they're going to be in the playoffs. They're gonna do
stop this
because
Taysom
there's not
Hill
too
stuff.
much things that he can do.
Yeah, stop this Taysom Hill bullshit. Listen, man.
It's real though.
Start.
It's real. For real.
Winston is not being. They're doing him wrong.
Yeah. So that's an easy move then, right? For
Easy
the Saints,
fix.
right?
With
So
Chicago, it's a different story.
that's what I was going to bring up. It's like, hey, the Saints. You put Winston in there with the players that the Saints have. They're going to make the playoffs no matter what, right?
Yep.
Chicago. You got Trubisky. You got Allen Robinson that's annoyed already.
And I don't think he resigns. I don't know what to do with Chicago. See, Chicago is a funny situation. So I think Montgomery is a good running back. When you add Tariq Cohen back there, they make a good dynamic. Their defense is what got them into the playoffs.
Right.
But it's a quarterback situation. Allen Robinson is quarterback proof. So to me, you get rid of Trubisky or you get rid of you get a quarterback, but that's easier said than done. So it doesn't seem as if they're going to re-sign Allen Robinson. He's going to become a free agent. There's no other receiver there, So what do you do then? Do you just jump into a rebuild? So they have a lot of decisions that they have to make out in the Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
All right. So we got obviously Bucks in Washington. Bucks are in the Super Bowl. Let's go with Washington, right? You have an okay defense. Was it a fluke season because of the division that they were in?
Yeah.
Because they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. It's a fluke season, and
Alex Smith is not going to get re-signed.
Right. The reason why I say it's a fluke season, right, is because if what's his name in Dallas and if Dak didn't get injured, I don't think Washington is making the playoff. I think it would be the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You feel me? So with that said, Washington need a quarterback for sure. They need a quarterback that is gonna be able to like pass the ball. Like they need a good quarterback. So I know we weren't thinking about Washington as a prospect for Matthew Stafford, but that's actually not a bad spot. That is actually not with
'cause
Scary
you
Terry.
got
You have
Scary Terry
you
there.
have a running back. You have a great defense because
Yep.
that defense is actually pretty good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Washington defense is actually pretty good. You have so you have some weapons. You feel me? You have some weapons. So you have you have a third down running back in McKissick, and then you have Gibson. Which is a really good running back. You have a decent offensive line. So I think Washington could be competitive in that division. But next year that division, you see how low that division was this year? I think that next year they're actually going to be more competitive.
Yeah, more competitive.
Saquon
Barkley coming back.
Saquon coming back.
Washington getting
It's
a sophomore
the off. They can actually get an off season. I don't know what
Philly
they're doing.
starts Hurts.
If they don't play, what do you think they're gonna do with Dak though? Like, you think Dak is still a Cowboy, or you think Dak is gone?
No, Dak's not going to be gone. The question is Dak going to be on a long-term contract, or is he going to get the
Franchise
franchise
again?
tag again? And
That's just wrong,
I think,
man. Like, if they franchise him again, I just think
it'll be way too much money.
I
It
think
wouldn't
Dak
be
was just
smart.
like, yo, keep your money. I'll just stay out.
Yeah, I don't think it would be smart for them because it's. I think they would have to pay him like 43 or something.
But
crazy.
it's just crazy though. Like they need Dak. Like
mean,
they
hey.
can gamble in the draft, but I really think they need Dak.
Listen, but the thing is that they franchise him once, so if they do it another time, Dak still gets what he wants because they franchise him again. That'll be the second year because I believe you can only do it 3 times.
I'm just telling you, I would want to know before I announce that I'm okay.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And if they say, "Hey, I'm gonna franchise you again," I was like, "All right, thank you, man. I'll sign that contract, but my foot is hurting."
Yep. Sign that contract
And sit the entire year out,
Yep, I agree with you.
and just work out and just get better, and then they can't franchise you a third time. So, and then you see what happens.
Yeah,
that's
'cause
exactly
they're
what I
either
would.
at that point going to say, "Hey, listen, we're going to release you, or we're going to franchise."
Yeah, so
I agree with you on that.
I wouldn't even do that. But back to the Washington. That's what I think the Washington need. They need a really good quarterback, somebody that can manage the game. They already have the running back. They have a good wide receiver in McLaren. Funny enough, Sims is actually pretty good. There's a good wide receiver out there. They need another prominent wide receiver, and like a Juju would be good out there. And Washington, if they get a quarterback, and I think that would be a good fit for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking at. Or even a Corey Davis out there should be good. With McLaren being the number one,
if they
and
wanna spend that money.
Corey Davis is not going to demand a lot of money, man.
I don't think he's gonna be good out
Corey
there.
Davis would be like a $5 million dude. It all depends on the quarterback, though.
Listen, I don't think you should be out there, and plus, I don't think Titans can afford to lose Corey Davis because they have nobody.
They have AJ Brown.
They have
though.
AJ Brown.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
wouldn't
no.
say
When I
that.
say
mean,
no,
AJ
I mean,
Brown alone can't do it though.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Is that AJ can't do it by himself. He needs that number 2. They don't have a number 3 out there, right? I mean, it's not the tight end. There's no other receiver. You can't lose.
You know
him.
who we're not talking about that would be good in either Washington or I think he would be good in Washington or Tennessee. Probably more Tennessee though.
Talking about Juju.
No, Kurt Samuel, because he's a free agent and they're not going to sign. They already said they're not going to sign
they're
him.
not gonna
But
sign
they need.
He could be a Corey Davis replacement.
Yeah,
I like
he could definitely be a Corey Davis replacement. And he has the thing about him is he's a gadget guy. Like, you know what I mean? And that will be good with that play action.
But I already have a gadget guy.
Who?
AJ.
No,
Same
AJ
height. Same. They can do the same thing.
AJ Brown game is not a gadget guy. Would tell
I
me
can
when.
put him in the gadgets though.
No,
That's
but what I'm
is
saying
like,
though,
I have that.
AJ is gonna be down the field at zone, but
What I
Corey
don't-
Davis is that gadget guy. You can put him anywhere. The dude can play running back if you need him to.
Yeah,
but
but-
I know you don't need him to because you have Derrick Henry. But I'm saying you can line him up with the tight ends. He can block. He can that's the thing about Corey Davis. Corey Davis is like Deebo Samuels. You can move them no matter where on the field.
But I'm not
anywhere
me
on the
personally.
line.
I'm not a fan of 1 and number 2 6-foot receivers. I'm not a fan of that. Curtis is not tall. He's 6 foot tall, right? And not 6'4", not 6'5", and AJ is the same height. And that doesn't. You're playing against cornerbacks that are either going to be 5'10", 6 feet, or they're on that 6'2", 6'3" with long arms.
Listen, last time I checked, Tyreek Hill ain't that tall either.
Yeah, last time I checked, Kelsey was on the other side.
And Tyreek Hill have speed out of this world.
And speed out of this world. And AJ ain't got
so.
speed like Tyreek. And Curtis ain't got speed like Tyreek. You know what I mean? Like, and Titans and Tannehill is definitely not Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that's out there.
And that's why he would need somebody that you can't anticipate what they're going to do.
I don't know.
Because Corey Davis, not Corey Davis, Curtis Samuel's outperforming his contract this year.
Yeah.
Like,
He did.
Yeah. He definitely did. But it wasn't until his last year. So we got what?
Rams and Seahawks.
Yeah, Rams and Seahawks.
So
man. What do you think
we
about
talked a little bit about the Rams. They have somewhat of a quarter. The situation with the Rams falls on a lot with Goff, and I think the coaching, McVay is actually, of all the teams that we talked about, he's probably the best coach, and he's played to Goff's standards. So their defense is there, and they have the weapons, they have the receivers, they have the back. So I think Goff limitations is the problems with Rams. For the Seahawks has a very prolific offense. We've seen that a lot this year. They put up big numbers. Metcalf had a beast mode of a year. Tyler Lockett had sprinkles of ridiculousness. So the problem is the defense. They once used to be
dominant,
one of the best defenses in football. Now they're one of the worst defenses in football, and they're the team that every game is a shootout.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So whenever you play against them, you know that this player, that player is going to go off. And in return, I think it's burning Russell Wilson out. To win every game by putting up ridiculous amount of points, it's hard.
I think that's going to change about Russell Wilson next year. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to draft him in fantasy and try to get him high. I think he's not going to be that guy that he was this year. I think they're going to find a way to make it a 50-50 offense.
you think so?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You think he's going to be throwing that ball like rocket ship every game?
He has the receivers too.
I don't know. I just don't see
I
it.
think they need to build a defense.
Like DK came out and saying, like, hey, listen, we got too predictable. Do you know what I mean? So everybody kind of knew what we were planning on doing.
But
too predictable.
their running game was injury. Carson was injured half the season.
Yeah, they had multiple running backs that were injured.
Hyde, all of them. So I don't think the offense is a problem. I think the defense is the major issue. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna twist it up for fourth quarter, man. We're gonna talk about on the DFS side. Last week we played DraftKings, right? Let's kind of break down for last week's championship. We all know like there's certain players on our squad that we predicted like, hey, this guy is gonna have like this monster game. What was that player? Did he have a monster game? And if he didn't, what were the things that made him not have that monster game that you assumed that he was going to do?
The thing I noticed about last week was that running backs sucked.
Yep.
Holy crap. It didn't even matter who you put in.
Fournette was actually played pretty well.
Fournette got a lot of the carries.
Yeah,
a lot of the carries.
well.
He started the game and he was actually pretty good until he started dropping the balls.
Yes.
Like there was a multiple drops by Fournette.
Thank God Ronald Jones didn't do nothing.
Yeah, because if he was performing, Fournette would have been on the bench. But man, this whole playoff thing, like the running backs hasn't been great. Like no running back went off. The wide receivers, kudos to Kelsey, kudos to
Hill, Patrick went off. Adams went off.
Adams, I don't know, man. Adams could have gotten a lot more points and stuff like that. But yeah, man, like the under the radar guy that did something for me that I thought that was, that I thought was great was nobody. I didn't have MVS, so hey, so good luck. Congratulations, my dude. You guessed right.
Well, I mean, you did have Williams actually had a better game than Clyde Hilaire. Right?
Yeah, I knew that.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Clyde Hilaire was coming off of injury. He hasn't played since week 15. So I expected Williams to get a lot of the carries. But if you're gonna bank on that, what happened then, to look towards the future, it's not a good idea. And the reason why I say it's not a good idea, think about this. Bell is coming back for the Super Bowl. Now you have Williams, and now you have Clyde. So it's a muddy backfield there.
Yep.
So it's just like I don't
Yeah,
I
at
don't
this
know
point,
who to
yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
That's the problem with throughout the entire NFL. So there's not really a lot of featured backs. There's only like 4 of them, and then everything is running back by committee.
Yeah, I hate
so from a fantasy's perspective, it's
Who do you trust?
exactly.
Yet the first round of every fantasy draft is flooded with running backs.
Yep.
Running backs, yeah.
Well, one of the other squad, the other player that you had on your team that at least I wasn't looking at all, that I felt like that was definitely did more than I expected to do, was Tanya, your tight end.
Yeah. No, I see. Tanya and Kelsey were the 2 that I expected to like perform. Any other tight end that was playing that day, I was like, I'm not even looking at it. If you look at Tanya at the end of the season, I think in the last 6 games, our last 7 games, he scored like 5 or 6 touchdowns. So Tanyan is getting looked at in the red zone by Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers has a tight end, another pass catcher. As I said, the thing that Aaron Rodgers needs to work on is his leadership. You can't shut out your team if they make a mistake. I understand, like, you're frustrated and all that stuff, but people make mistakes, but they can come back. Like, if I make a mistake, I'm learning from that, and I'm coming back better than I was before. I've never seen one wide receiver on the Green Bay Packer drop 2 balls in a row. Why not? Because they ain't getting a second chance.
Yeah.
Like, I know
Unless
you're trying
Adams.
to teach
Unless
a
you're
lesson. I know you're trying to teach a lesson, but that lesson doesn't necessarily, like, that message doesn't necessarily come across or translate right sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes they just need a second chance to prove to you that, that was just an error, and I'm gonna show you why I got this.
Yeah.
You feel me? So yeah.
P, looking at your squad too, man.
It's that my squad.
Well, yeah, your squad. You had Rodgers, Jones, Ronald Jones, Hill, Adams, Lazard, Knox. We talked about how Lazard was, we could have went either way. I think both of you guys went Lazard. I went MVS, and either we could have went, because last week the week before Lazard went off, right? So when I looked at Green Bay, it was like, yo, this is a toss up, right? And it could have went either way. So it could have went, hey, listen, because last week we were talking about how Lazard, MVS missed a pass.
Right.
A deep pass 40 yards, or not, he just didn't miss it. And Rodgers threw it up in the air. It was too far. And it was the same route. The only difference, it went to Lazard. Lazard caught it, right? Went for a touchdown, 40-yard touchdown. Bam. Fantasy points hit the roof, right? This week, I assumed it was going to be MVS because, like, hey, listen, this is what happened last week. Everybody's probably looking at Lazard, etc. So what was your thought process of it?
With Lazard and the MVS situation?
Yeah, because I mean, one of the
why you choose Lazard over MVS last
I
week?
chose Lazard because I think he's the true number 2 out there over MVS. MVS is more of a punt play. Obviously, it worked out this week.
Congratulations, my dude.
I appreciate it.
I went with the better floor. And it's football. It just panned out. I think we all knew that the consensus of 3 of us knew that outside of Adams, one of those guys was going to have a good game to beat Buffalo, because to beat Buffalo, you have to throw the football.
Exactly.
So, that's the nucleus of what it was. But the cherry on top, per se, is who was it going to be, MVS or Lazard?
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the situation in some of these games. Which one are you picking?
Yeah. Now, one of the guys that I was shocked, because both of y'all did well. I mean, actually, we all 3 did well in tight ends, right? Both of y'all did the unexpected, because actually I thought you were going to pick up Kelsey like I did, P, because we've been on Kelsey all season. But you ended up picking up Knox. Like, what was it that made you say, yo,
that
Knox
was
is this?
trying to find a player that had a really good upside, and I knew that, to me, Bills is too one-dimensional, kind of what we talked about.
Right.
And at some point when you play good teams, that combination is not going to work. So I felt that, Knox was a good value for the money. So he had a very high ceiling. Diggs is going to see a lot of double coverage, and he could get the football. So he was extremely cheap, and it was a floor, it was a ceiling that I was looking at. Like I was looking at the fact that this guy can explode and have a good game, and he had a better than
He had, what, 16 points, right?
16. Yeah, he had a good game. Yeah.
Because I know we talked about it in the beginning of the season. It's like, listen, Kansas City Chiefs secondary plays well against wide receivers, but not so much as tight end. So I was looking like, yo, I think that's why you picked him. Like, yo, this is a great ceiling, a great tight end. Well, he's not a great tight end, but in the situation that he's in, you're looking like, hey, listen, this who else is he gonna go to, right? But yeah, so I felt like it was a dope, choice as what you got. I kind of went on the high of everything too, man. I went, with Patrick Mahomes. I was actually kind of upset because I thought Hilaire, because remember when we were out that night, I switched it up. And right when I heard Hilaire was like gonna do better, I was like, yo, he's good.
He's good. He's gonna come in and do his thing, right?
Yeah. So I took Williams out and put Hilaire in.
Right.
Not expecting like, yo, he wasn't really good. You know what I mean? With 7 points, and then all of a sudden you started seeing, Williams getting more of the running game, and I believe Williams had a touchdown. I think he ended up with like 14 fantasy points at that particular time. We both knocked out, if not all three of us had Fournette on there. I had Tyreek Hill that went off. Obviously, John Brown was the biggest issue that I felt that we talked about that we beat that like that should have been Knox. That John Brown situation should have had more passes. He should have been more targets to be sent to him. And I feel like when there's targets are sent to you and you missing the balls, I can understand why he didn't. But there were no targets at him at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think my biggest pickup, honestly, because we knew Godwin was going to do well, but I think my biggest pickup was MVS. That was the guy that that could have made the win go either north or south. You know what I'm saying? Because it could have went either way of Lazard, man. But ultimately, man, great weekend. Brent, we got next weekend. Well, not this weekend. We got Super Bowl
weekend, right? Man. Yeah, we got a Super Bowl weekend contest. It's going to be a single slate. It's a captain slate. So how it works is this. You get to pick the top 6 players that you think is going to perform within your budget. Your captain cost you 1.5%. And you also get 1.5 points. So you have to remember. So you have to think about it this way: like who is going to generate the most points for you, and how you can get an extra 0.5 of their points added to that total. So that could be key to winning this contest. I'm forwarding it out to a lot of people, and I will be posting that on the IG page, the website, and also on Twitter for people to enter. Spots are limited, guys. Spots are limited. Jump in. It's $10 to enter. And listen, even if you don't know how to play fantasy, you can win. The reason why I say that, look at C over there. He won too. So I'm just letting you know. So hey, man.
See what I'm talking about? I held everything back, and then shots were fired.
That was good.
So hey, man,
that was really good.
Yo, let's jump into it, man. Let's jump in. The link will be there. Just click on the link and enter the contest, man.
Just saying, how many you won?
It doesn't matter, yo.
Because I can talk to PJ about winning.
Oh, it's okay.
I can talk
it's
about.
The only two
I can talk to PJ about winning.
The only two things you ever won, man.
I can talk to PJ about winning.
It's two DFS that you
can't have a conversation with you about winning.
You creeped in. As you said, you know what? You know what's funny about it? You know what's funny about last week when you won? You just said it. You just took a shot at MVS and he's the one that won.
Not that I took a shot. I did.
There was no analysis behind
I did
it,
my breakdown.
There was no analysis.
I did all my breakdown on it. For
tell me
2
how
weeks,
you
bro.
know MVS was gonna perform.
Because it was gonna be either MVS or Lazard.
That's my point. So you took a shot.
Targets. We looked at the amount of targets
you took
that
a shot at
Rodgers
MVS.
threw.
But MVS averaging 2 to 3.3 targets a game.
You looked at the amount of targets that MVS that Rodgers is throwing to targets
bro.
last week.
Please,
that's
man.
how. Look at stats. You see
Man,
that.
the
You see the
stats
breakdown
is-
of it.
The stats is that
There was multiple
MVS
targets. There was
yo,
more targets to MVS than it was to Lazard last
targets.
week.
The targets to
Or the
MVS
week
is
before.
2 to 3
Nope.
per week. Man,
Sorry, bro.
please.
They
Listen,
were
but let's
both,
go.
It
they were
hurts.
both a toss-up play.
It's painful.
That's a fact.
It's a toss-up play.
It's a toss-up
There's no
play.
analysis on
Yeah,
that one.
no analysis.
So
What?
there was
Come
dude,
on.
come on, bro.
No analysis.
Hey, come
Get outta
on.
here,
man.
yo.
no
There was no
analysis.
analysis.
Listen,
Like,
there's a
hey,
breakdown
this.
of that, my
So yeah, so Super Bowl. I know you guys will be doing your squares. I know you guys will be doing whatever contests you're doing. There's a bunch of contests that you can do in the Super Bowl. But I'm telling you, check out this single game slate with the captain spot. It is great. It's hard because you have to fit everybody in with $60,000. And if you think you're gonna run up in this and say, "Hey, I'm gonna get all the top players. I'm gonna get Pat Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey,
happen.
and then Godwin, Tom Brady, and Evans." Oh, it's not gonna
Not
happen.
gonna
happen,
It's not gonna happen. You're
gonna have to work for this one.
Yeah, this
You're
one
gonna
is
have to work for this one.
this one you have to put some analysis
Yeah.
on. This one you have to think about. This one is like you have to think about like which player you don't like. Which player you don't like and which player you do like. And
This
which
is-
player you think is gonna like think. It's
This
not
is
even,
the analysis that Mr. C over here was talking about.
Yeah, bro. This is it. You're
So,
gonna
yeah.
you're gonna have to break this one all the way.
all
down.
the way down. Like and then you have not only that you break it down, you have to make sure the money works.
Yep.
Because the money is key on these captain games. Like the money is key. 60 grand for 6 players, and then you have players like Pat Mahomes costing like $12,000. You feel me? Tyreek Hill $11,000. Kelsey $11,000. How you gonna fit 6 players in there? You
gonna
feel
be
me?
fun.
So that's gonna be
And
epic.
then picking the
right captain.
The right captain.
The right captain to get that 1.5 points, that multiplier of 1.5.
Guy that's going to
most
be
points.
the MVP player.
Yeah, it's
That's
hard.
just it.
It's not easy.
Who's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be the
one
MVP player this
exactly. That 1.5 multiplier is gonna be dope. So hey
Not gonna
guys, so
say that.
jump in
up?
and let's go.
What's up?
Nah, go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you.
No, I was like, I'm not going to tell you who my MVP players.
Oh no, I'm not gonna tell you either.
I accidentally just put in like a crazy, like a foolish lineup, and I accidentally sent my lineup to everybody. So I hope everybody go ahead and follow that lineup because it was just a trash lineup that I put in.
This guy. Yo, do your shout outs, man. Yo. Actually, what's your prediction? Actually, we'll get to the
We get
prediction
to the prediction next week.
Whatever. What's
Uh,
your shout outs, my dude?
My shout out is I'm looking forward to taking some money this weekend. So guys, having a poker
I'm coming
tournament,
in
a poker
I'm
tournament.
coming in
this
with
week.
$30, bro. That's all you get from me.
We don't do that.
It's actually a 40 minimum, sir.
Yeah.
It's a 40
That
minimum.
was a 40 minute.
Yeah, we don't do that over here. But I think this. I'm looking forward to this weekend. This weekend should be a good weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah, it's gonna be fun as hell.
Been waiting to play some poker.
Shout out to you, C, winning twice in DFS. I'm gonna give you a shout out.
Appreciate that,
You're a
appreciate that.
product of Locker Code, so I have to
Yes,
give
sir.
you props, my dude. Like
Hey,
I can't.
we gotta end next week.
Hate on you.
I know, and I appreciate that. The last one, we got to be the top threes, bro. We got 1, 2, 3.
I
Yeah.
think you were kind of lucky though.
Here you go with that, yo.
This
Hey,
week, yo,
dude,
this
I
week
was
is gonna
nowhere
be epic
near
though.
lucky, bro.
Yo, not this week, but next week with the Super Bowl is gonna be epic.
Nowhere near lucky, bro. I had it. I knew it was gonna be there. The only person I was worried about is Dre. And then I started looking at his squad. I'm like, yo, he's done. He had it for the whole game, like the whole day. He was good, so man. But yeah, shout outs, man.
Any shout outs?
Oh, shout outs to you
shout-outs.
boys, fam, everyone, man. You know, appreciate it. Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yay.
Locker Code.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Hey, just a reminder. Hey, March 20th, Locker Code anniversary. Locker Code anniversary. The information will be coming. It will be posted on our website, IG page, and our Twitter. Come out, support. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a good time. Promise you.
Yes, sir. What's that? What's that date again?
March 20th. It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
I think it's the
Let's go.
third Saturday in March.
Let's go. Dress to impress.
Definitely
Not all
dressed to
white, bro.
impress.
Not all white. Not all white.